gender in the law, I mean, the law, in especially California, you are protected from gender discrimination. In the broad sense, the law in the state of California, which is based on the federal, is you can't discriminate against any class of persons. So you can't discriminate against transvestites, gay people, whoever. Now, does that really offer you any protection? I mean, yeah and no. We get into that gray area. What's really fascinating about gender in the law, homosexuality in the law, is the INS, immigration, actually offers more protection to homosexuals in foreign countries than they do here. You can get asylum, homosexual asylum. If you're persecuted in some country, third world country, whatever, and you can
ask for political asylum.
Yeah, if you're in Ghana and they want to kill you, you can come here.
Yeah, or Africa, and you can afford a good lawyer. You can come here. There's a certain amount of visas that they're allowed for that. Yeah. And again, do you, if you need that, it's there for you. Kind of something I want to talk about is like how far one really goes with that. Sometimes, and I never really thought I'd hear myself saying this, I'm kind of careful about people I really love and respect about pushing it too far, and I don't really push it that far. Although I went through this thing earlier in the year, I got white tips on my fingernails, my hands, and on my feet, because I think it looks really, really clean. And my partner, he encouraged that. That's how that happened to come about. We were traveling, we were on the East Coast. And then when I came back, I noticed the effect that it had on some of the people that I really respect, like my dentist, my vet, the dog thing again, the vet. And I sensed, these are really liberal, intelligent, sophisticated people, but I could feel it kind of making them a little uncomfortable. So I really just pulled back on all that. Like Dean, what is it really? Is that necessary? It's things that my partner likes. I just kind of really developed more of an awareness of other people.
And my first instinct, if I didn't even know you, would be, I bet you cross-dress. I bet you do drag at some point. That's why your nails are so beautiful right now,
Right. Well, you would. I mean,
I would.
You're open-minded. You're open-minded.
If your eyebrows are perfectly groomed and plucked, it's like, you do drag.
Right. Although I wouldn't now, because I don't really, it's kind of a bit ridiculous on me now.
But did you do drag?
No, not really. No.
See, you're from the 80s, so you...
Just the way I was on the street was kind of, in the 80s.
Androgynous?
Yeah, androgynous.
You were wearing eyeliner.
Not really, but I didn't really need it to, my features.
I didn't need it.
My features were such that
it worked. I mean, back then we were in love with these bands that didn't matter what they were. The men looked better than the girls.
Yeah.
Like everybody in Ireland.
And you're playing in a rock band, and people, you get away with a lot more. There was this whole pre-AIDS thing where it was really cool to be bisexual and gay, and then when '86 with AIDS, and I myself even kind of pulled back, and I actually got married to a woman, because I do like women if they're okay with me, if they can accept me. Although generally now I kind of prefer men when I'm with a guy right now. We live together.
Now, did the woman know?
Oh yeah, well yeah, because before I got married, I told her everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was only fair, and she was okay with that.
So do you, when you were doing legal work, or in some of your legal work, have you helped people sort of file the paperwork they need to file, or give them the information that they need? Did you ever do anything, or?
No, and the way my search engine optimization guy describes me is I'm like the plumber. I'm like emergency. People call me for real life legal things that they need, like answers to unlawful detainer complaints, answers to federal trademark infringement things. I have really fascinating stuff, like guys that get busted for selling counterfeit UGG boots. So it's really fascinating. But that's the kind of stuff I do.
Okay.
Yeah, people who really need me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of Do you, for someone who doesn't know a lot about the different branches of the law and different things that different lawyers do, different paralegals do you work mainly with criminal law, corporate law? Is there a whole
No,
range?
yeah, I don't do any corporate law. Basically, I don't do corporate law. I don't do bankruptcy. Criminal law, I refer out. I help with the paperwork, but I have criminal lawyers that I work with that really know criminal law, and they're older. This guy, he's 70 years old. He knows everybody, and that's what you need. Criminal law is one area you have to be careful. You can get in trouble as a paralegal because criminals. The whole thing about criminal law, people don't really understand this. A criminal case, a criminal prosecution, is to make sure that someone is prosecuted according to the law. Is really what it's all about. So procedure is real important, and making sure the person's rights are protected is really important. Civil is a little more, I do a lot more.
Okay.
Because if someone's facing a criminal charge, I want to make sure that they got the right criminal lawyer. What I do is I have contract attorneys that work for me. All my work is supervised by lawyers. I have to run it by lawyers. I have these lawyers that I run it by. And actually, amazingly, you're talking about Facebook, my main contract lawyer, he passed away. And the whole thing, the announcements, everything are on Facebook, his services this Saturday. Anyway, I have lawyers that contract. I actually have lawyers that cold call me looking for work. Smart, young attorneys that know how the internet works. They're Googling and they're seeing that I got the web presence, and they call me looking for work, and I have them do contract appearances for a lot of my people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we used to be concerned about like appearances and being polite and PC. Like, do I put a death announcement on Facebook? But now, like, yeah, it's actually a quick way to let everybody know. There's people that like, oh, I need to call them, and like, oh, she's going through something, I will leave her alone. Like, I think it's working. I think people were so worried about their own privacy, like, I don't want my business out there. And now, you know what? We do so much so quickly that, yeah, you do want your business out there, actually. You know?
Right. And sometimes I think I do that a lot more because I'm independent, and thank God I don't have to really worry what anyone thinks about me.
Exactly. Like that was on CNN today about people getting fired for posting things about their boss on Facebook. So it's incredible to have that kind of freedom. I mean, I have that. I'm my own boss, so I'm like, I'm not going to get fired from a job. I can say whatever I want on Facebook, you know?
Exactly.